12, which is labeled on here. So I can use my framing square to get that pitch. I want to go through this point, which is the top of our peak of our roof. The 12 and 12, 12 on the line here and on the line here. And draw this line. So that's the peak and the top of the rafter. Together. Now you could just put pins down through, but then you'd have to hold those crux in the right place while you're drilling to put a pin in. So the better solution is actually to notch the ridge out to fit in those crux, so that when they're right where they're supposed to be, the ridge just drops into place and holds the building. So, I think that's it. So we're going to lay our cruck over here, and we want our cruck to come up to about this point anyway.
But what I was doing here before, while Jack was doing that, if you look on the drawing here, the transverse section, you'll see that the height is 8 feet to the plate. So what I did was just measured up, just go all the way to the edge. And I just simply measured up 8 feet, and that's what's going to represent the top of the plate here. So then before we could have snapped the line from here to there, and that would represent the roof. And we'll need this point after we get the crux in plane. We'll scribe the crux first, and we'll get those both together and joined at the peak, and then we'll be scribing the tie and the post to it, and that'll give us a height for where the plate will go. Okay. Yeah. So now we need to position our crux too. We're only going to do one cruck at a time. Right there is good. Okay, this is going to come out a little bit. Yeah, we have to figure out our parameters here. So. Yeah, it will. Will you lift up? Will you push down, Dan? Yeah. So, well, now we've got to position our crux. We're going to have to figure out the bottom detail. But we've got this position and then that position there. And this is where you try to be cognizant of your purling when you were doing that. So, the top, we want to line up just about, let's say, right with that point, or 1/8 of an inch below will. And also one of the crux, see that one has a lot of wane,
yeah,
so I think we want to slide up to get rid of that wane. So why don't we bring it up, Dan? Whoop. Lift up one. Okay.
Don't worry if there's gaps in it, because you're going to be connecting it with a straight line anyway. So we're going to take these out and we're going to chisel. I guess we could saw it, but you people should experience taking a sharp chisel and paring end grain. Getting the spirit of it. And you connect these lines on top and bottom after we take them out. And then we're going to put it back together. We're going to prick the peg hole layout on there, take it out, offset it, put it back in, put a drift pin in. And we're going to scribe. Actually, we've got to cut a mortise for the brace first.
At that point,
yeah. And you ought to know that this is could be a door opening here between these two studs, or a window opening. So the reference side on any kind of opening is always the inside of the opening. All right. And if these pieces were narrower than the mortises, they would be brought tight to the inside before you located the peg hole location. In fact, sometimes on doorways, the peg hole wasn't centered on that mortise up there. It was closer to the doorway side. Like if you had a big stud, an 8-inch wide stud, you'd have your peg hole all the way over towards the inside, the doorway side. So if there's any shrinkage in the stud, it's where it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. First time I saw that in overlay, I said, boy, those guys are really sharp. So these, we can't really tumble these properly because there's no piece here. So all we're going to do is transfer the angles of the plate onto the ends of these studs. So cut the studs, put them in, and then we're going to get the bottom cuts for all these pieces.
So nobody in the middle. We want to push more in the crux as we're going up.
I told you.
I didn't know if it was
Okay. Anybody that's going to be lifting up, try to get a path
Yeah,
that
get
you
past
know
them.
that you're going to be
You
able
can
to
touch
step
like
and
that.
walk safely.
Back shot.
Okay, we looking good? All right, so is everybody ready? Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go right up with it. Keep it going. No fingers underneath those posts. Just keep it going. Nice and steady.
nobody moves, nobody gets hurt.
I see 1 2x4 for a brace here. Is there
Oh,
another
Keep
one?
going
stud,
up.
we got a stud issue.
Stud. Up.
Hold on.
Just a little bit. Or...
A little bit more.
All right. Okay. Keep it going. Pop that in rolling. Nice. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Just go vertical with it. We'll get it in. A little bit more.
The joint if you can.
Right here?
Yeah, right up there, yeah.
There you go. Give it pull down, Brad.
On the brace.
Hold down.
Put some weight on it.
Tap on it again.
Drone, pull down.
Looks like you gotta twist it out.
Yeah. Here, pass the commander up to them and they can snap it down.
All right.
Pop a couple pins in there.
Okay, go on up. Do Jerome's end first. Doug's not having it. Okay. Actually, you have to go up,
I'll
Doug.
get that, Bill.
Go up, Doug. Yeah. Nice. Down. Down a little.
Come on down, man.
Go down.
There you go.
Wills. Doug, you need a commander. Oh, look, he's ready. No.
Yeah.
Okay, a few pins. Just at the post and braces. I guess you did the studs before.
You sucked down pretty good there. That's not that really happened in the whole thing.
Oh, Joe's getting up there.
Steelworkers don't know how to drive a nail. Nah, the wood's cracking. Hemlock, the hemlock. Right. If it was an impact one.
Take a picture of Joe.
I will. It's okay.
All right, I'm gonna go home.
Hey, great job.